Z.A.K, and I'm going to show you guys how to boil your tires. Because I always talk about my videos and I never get to show any video, but now here we go, here's a video. First step is you put it on high, or highest mode there so the water boils quick. So when you have your pot boiling, just put your tire in. Like about 10 minutes of it boiling, one tire. You take your little burger flipper, put it in the pot, flip over the tire. There you go. Oh yeah, and if you think your tire is pretty much super hot and boiling, like mine is, you could probably just pull it out, pull the whole thing apart because heat will transfer through, but if not, you can just leave it here for 5 minutes. After you put it in the one side for 10 minutes, flip it over and keep it in there for about 5 minutes. Pull it out and check if the glue sort of melted off. And if it did, then, well, you can pull your tire off and put your new ones on. So yeah, your tire's boiling. On the other side, you can take it out and check it's glued. The process, just take your tire and plop it in. So I moved down here now just to show you how to do this next step for peeling off the tire, because my brother's watching Godzilla upstairs. So yeah, I'm gonna do it down here. It's not all loud and crazy. So yeah, I hope you learn some more down here. So for take off the tire, you just peel it back, and as you can see, the lip's coming, and there's gonna be hot water in there, so you gotta be super careful. You just go around, and yeah, you just peel away. Ah, yeah, there is hot water in there. And if there ever is, and you're just really anxious to take your tire off, you just use a washcloth or a towel like me, and you just really peel it off. As you can hear that cracking sounds, you can see there's some water. So you're gonna want to be very careful with this. Yeah, that is very hot, so yeah, and the tire is just the tire itself. After you take it out, you start doing this, it's gonna be really hot. Okay, so yeah, so what you're gonna want to do is probably just squeeze out some of the water. If you can hear that sound, that's not the table or the thing dragging, it's actually the water coming out of these holes. As you can see, where the foam is, it's really wet because junk inside the tire. So yeah, you hear that snapping sound, is the glue deactivating from the tire and rim. Just keep peeling away until your wheel looks like this, which is one of my Rolex wheels I haven't even glued yet, but once it's all done, you should check and see if there's any glue on the sides. There's a little bit of glue, then it's fine, but if there's a big globs of glue, I would definitely just take a knife or something and just get it off. But if it looks clean as this, or a little worse, just a little worse, I wouldn't even care if there was a tiny bit of layers of glue. Would still work. I mean, really, especially for a front wheel, it would still definitely work if for a two-wheel drive. So yeah, to get your tire to look like that. So yeah, and then I'll show you how to mount up your wheel to your tire, then glue it properly, and yeah, that'll be it. Got your tire fully off the wheel. You got, since you boiled it and not you put it in the oven, which I don't even want to try, just boil my tires. Be very careful, especially once you take it out. Get your foam out. As you can see, my foam, that's not the foam coming apart. It's just a ton of like sand and stuff from driving it and rocks and stuff. And yeah, this tire's still good and the foam's still very good. And I'm going to give this to my brother for / two-wheel drive because his front tires are shot. And yeah, here's the old tire. And as you can see on the inside, there's a ton of junk in there. Oh yeah, and if you're gonna boil your tires and you're using racing tires just to remove them from a broken rim, I'd highly recommend not boiling them. I'd just do a different method. And yeah, if your tire ever starts to chip like this, it's fine. just the little chip, but if you have giant chips, that isn't good. And if you ever do chip it, I'd probably go with something like from my other video, it will probably not break, is the J Concepts Rolex wheels, because it's really stiff as you see supporters compared to the Team Associateds. Big difference there, and these ones actually kind of run up the side, just like the Team Associated, but it's not as beefy. But I would definitely get some of these if you ever broke it, or just the stock ones, doesn't matter, but I'd just get these. These can be reused, or if they could be thrown out, these wheels, and if your foam's still good, I'd probably save it. You could use it for other tires, you can use it for, like battery spacing and whatever, anything, like just anything you can use this foam for. And this foam kind of rubbery. I don't know if it is actually made of rubber, but yeah, squeeze out all the water. It's like a sponge. Otherwise, if you don't squeeze out the water, like I said, it will be like a sponge and your wheel would be all off balance, and it will not be a good idea. And yeah, as you can see, it's very dirty, and yeah, that's how you clean your foam. And I'm going to show you how to glue your wheels and tires together. I'm going to be demonstrating this with a J Concepts 3D tire and Team Associate SC10 brushless edition front wheel. And yeah, first thing you gotta do, which is what I totally recommend, is washing down your beads on your wheel and tire so that it adheres good. But I don't really care, it's a front wheel, it's not like I'm gonna apply so much power, so I'm probably not gonna clean the tire, but I will clean the wheel because I'm reusing it for my I have J Concepts wheel tire. So yeah, excuse me for my speech there. And yeah, I'm gonna clean it out. So just take a rag, just get down and everything. I mean, you don't have to clean the inside. I'm just doing that just so that boiling hot water is gone. Clean out the bead, which is this part on both sides. This is the bead. This is the bead area. So really gotta just get that clean, otherwise the tire won't stick. And also, if you want to really stick, I would recommend roughing up the bead with like a Dremel or something, just like lightly, just roughing it up with stuff. And certain tips they offer, they probably could, like a brush tip or something, just lightly rub it, and it would go really rough. I would not do that to tires because they'll rip. So yeah, just get the bead all clean. It should look like that, and then it should look like that. You see it's dirt all around the outside. I'm probably just going to get that later, or just clean off on my side with the rag. But yeah, that's how it should look. And then what you do is you take your tire and make sure that there's no like stuff hanging off, like a rubber. But yeah, like that little black thing, like anything hanging off, which I don't have very much of, but I don't really care. It's a front wheel, like I said. So just for short course tires, you just slide them on. For say I'm trucking 8 scales and whatever other scale, and on road cars this also applies to, because I did this with my brother. Just slide it on, and the other steps just gluing it and everything. So yeah, you just slide it on. Make sure that the tires evenly fit. Sometimes you might just have to really just press it in just to make it fit. Sometimes the foam might be all bunched up inside, but it doesn't matter that much. For that, you just gotta get it all balanced. If you have tire balancers out there and you have those little tire bands, those things will work. But this is just my way with my tires. Just without those, I just take out the tire and I look on the tread and I go, oh, is there something wrong or a bump or anything? So I just look around, and for me it looks decent. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to glue it. So what I do is I take out my Hobbytown USA tire glue, and I open it up. Oh, it's brand new, so I gotta cut it. I'll focus in. I gotta cut it right, so right there. I think that's right. Let me cut it down a little more. There, that's perfect. Okay, so now what you do, I'm gonna focus in a little, prop it up. Is you take the bead, you pull it back a lot. You apply a fair amount of glue on there. Which that should be a good amount, so then you just push it back in, and there shouldn't be any glue on the outside of the rim yet. That if you want to do that last after everything dries, to seal it off, that'd be great, but I'm not going to do that because that front wheels. So yeah, you just pull it back, you apply some glue, and you push it back in. Do that around the whole tire. Alright, so once you get your side glued, there should be some glue that you can see on the outside. That means it's decently glued. Well, at least for me. But sometimes people want to wipe that away, and I think that's fine. But for me, I think it just adheres it a little more. When you're done, just make sure you also double check that your tire is fully even. There's no lumps. If there's lumps, your tire will be all offside and your truck will bounce around like that. And you don't want that, especially for a race truck like the SC10 or a short course truck, such as what I'm gluing these for. And yeah, you just don't want it to be bumpy, you want it to be straight like that. You can see it's even. And yeah, that is how you glue the front side, and I'll be gluing the back side right now. And yeah, just I'm done with the rear now. So like I said, just check for your tire because this glue really is hard to get off. So make sure your wheel is pushed in to your tire and your tire is pushed into your wheel. Really good, especially if you're racing. And if you're racing, I would not recommend the process I'm doing. I would do a process with like tire balancers, but I don't have that junk, so I'm just gonna have to suck it up and glue it the way everybody else does. So yeah, and if you have some gaps that you just can't get rid of and you just are like, oh, you just can't, then apply some glue into the area. Just Hail Mary. And then, yeah, your tire will still be straight though, so don't worry about that. And yeah, there you go, guys. I have shown you how to boil your tires, how to change them out, whatever. I just told you about tires this episode, boiling, gluing, ungluing, and yeah, a lot of other stuff, how to clean them. And yeah, that's how I glue and prep my tires and unglue them, and well, whatever I just said before, and that's how I do it. And yeah, see you guys.